Now, India is in the middle of a crisis it did not choose. The war in West Asia is disrupting oil supplies, pushing up prices and forcing governments across the world to ask their citizens to do more with less. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already made that appeal. What nobody expected was who would join in support. Kamal Haasan, actor, politician, a man who has spent years positioning himself as a voice independent of both the BJP and the Congress. This week, he backed the Prime Minister, not quietly, not reluctantly, but clearly and on record. He said national responsibility must rise above party politics. He quoted Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He flew economy class to make a point, and he asked the film industry to stop burning money on shoots in Paris and Switzerland when India has perfectly good locations. Let's listen into what Kamal Haasan said.
My dear fellow countrymen, today I speak to you as an Indian deeply concerned by the impact of the Iran war. Oil prices are rising, sea trade routes are blocked, the energy that powers our kitchen and homes, the fertilizers that nourishes our fields and crops, the fuel that drives our industries and vehicles, all have gotten more expensive. In response, more than 60 countries have already imposed energy-saving rules. We recently heard Singapore's Prime Minister asking his people to prepare for tough times ahead. We are a much larger country, and our Prime Minister has asked us to save energy over the next year. In moments like this, national responsibility must rise above party politics. As Mr. Vajpayee famously said, governments will come and go, but the nation shall remain.
Well, that is the surface story, but underneath it, something larger may be moving. Kamal Haasan is structurally aligned with the DMK. Since they back him to become the Rajya Sabha MP and the DMK is no longer with the Congress, it has already asked for a separate seating in Parliament. That is not a small thing. When a party asks to sit apart, it is telling the room that it's keeping its options open. The DMK has 22 members in the Lok Sabha and 10 in the Rajya Sabha, 32 MPs in total. In normal times, that is significant. Right now, it is critical. This brings us to the bigger picture. Sources reveal that efforts are underway to bring DMK into NDA fold. The BJP has been there before. The DMK has been part of Vajpayee's NDA. The model being discussed now is not a formal alliance, but issue-based support, the kind of arrangement that BJD, YSRCP and BRS have offered in the past. The obstacle, as it was always been, is Sanatana Dharma question. That issue has not gone away, but politics has a way of finding workarounds when the numbers demand it. Now, with 32 members across both houses of parliament, the DMK has become the most sought-after partner for the NDA. The reason is very simple: arithmetics. BJP does not have the numbers it needs to pass three of the most important pieces of legislation it wants to push through Parliament. The Constitution's 131st Amendment, the Delimitation Bill and the operationalization of the Women's Reservation all require a two-thirds majority. The government fell short by 54 votes the last time it tried. 22 Lok Sabha MPs from the DMK could not close the gap entirely, but they would change the conversation completely. Big questions that we are asking as of now. Does Kamal Haasan's backing of Prime Minister Modi signal the beginning of a larger political realignment in Tamil Nadu? Can the BJP successfully build bridges with the DMK on issues of national importance despite sharp differences on the Sanatana Dharma issue? Now, will the DMK extend outside support to NDA on key bills like delimitation and Women's Reservation Bill? Now, let's take a look at how this would in fact pan out. To discuss on this, we have Kalyan Raman, Senior Leader, BJP from Tamil Nadu. We have R. Suresh Kumar, a political researcher from Tamil Nadu. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Now, Mr. Kalyan Raman, the first question is to you. Is BJP actually making that attempt through Kamal Haasan to reach out to DMK?
The BJP acts on national interest. In the national interest, an appeal is made out by the Honorable Prime Minister across the country for the entire population. One of the political leaders, namely Kamal Haasan, coming out and openly saying that this is a visionary statement by the Honorable Prime Minister and that we shall support such an effort, keeping in mind the global scenario that is emerging due to the West Asia crisis or war, whatever we call it as at this point of time. So it is a very prudent, wise suggestion, advice, or a statement by Kamal Haasan at this stage. I personally welcome. You were also talking about if the DMK is going to be realigning itself, issue-based support, etc., citing Atalji's period. We are not running a party-driven government. We are running a nationalist government. It has a wider ramifications. And there is a huge situation happening across the world. The inflation levels are going up across the world. In fact, today, this morning, I was discussing with some of my BJP colleagues, should all the 30 and odd members of the parent body of Tamil Nadu go around all the villages across the state and start talking about community kitchens to save the fuel, community transport, carpooling or two-wheeler pooling for that matter. Some such arrangement is to be made in order to save the energy. This is something we were speculating just this morning in line with the Honorable Prime Minister's request. We are trying to give it a little different shape. We were discussing actually, though nothing concrete about it. We were just discussing, can we do something? All the 35 members of the parent body. Of course, I'm not in the parent body, but then I'm a person with huge ideas myself coming from the management background. I was former national head of a shipping line for you to understand. So given the parameters, we are just discussing and speculating. Now, take the Kamal Haasan factor, Kamal Haasan statement into consideration. He is somewhere aligning with the Honorable Prime Minister's idea. We simply welcome it. This is without speculating into whether DMK is going to come or not, whether BJP is having shortfall or not. In the days to come, BJP is not going to have a shortfall in any of the this thing because we have 240 plus the alliance partners, which is close to 290 plus levels. And also we have good numbers in the Rajya Sabha today. After, of course, Aam Aadmi joining, and we are going to get more numbers from West Bengal and other places, Assam, and so on. So we are not falling short of majority.
See, we know that when it comes to the simple majority, it's not a problem. But when it comes to the two-third majority, especially on critical bills, like we have seen how
two-third majority we talk about only when we talk about constitutional amendment.
So that's what I'm saying. So there are important bills like you wanted the delimitation bill, you wanted the the reservation bill, the women's reservation bill. Of course, the BJP was falling short, but now it is going to be kind of an outreach that you would be looking at or trying to convince the DMK, or will it be some kind of a tacit support that you would be looking at from the DMK is the question.
See, I have always maintained that if the DMK is willing to support us in our nationalist endeavor, it is most welcome. We also share some views that some of the BJP, DMK members are having separatist tendencies. This is not something acceptable. You have to tone down as the leadership of DMK. You have to tone down your own people. Some such thing, even I have suggested to them.
But DMK had given out, they had given up their so-called secessionist tendencies way back in 1960s itself, at the time of Anna Durai itself. So what they are asking is for a totally different thing. They are asking for more sovereignty, not exactly the word, sovereignty would be wrong, but more autonomy when it comes to state functions is what they're probably looking at. More of sense of decentralization is what they are looking at. Anyway, we will come to that part of it as well. We have with us Satish Kumar, who's also a political analyst, who's joining us. But Mr. Suresh Kumar has been waiting for some time right now. Mr. Suresh Kumar, how do you in fact see this? The statement has been made by Kamal Haasan. Kamal Haasan has been brought to the Rajya Sabha through the DMK. Do you see some kind of reaching out by the BJP being done, or is it feelers being sent through Kamal Haasan? I mean, are we reading too much into it that probably we are not seeing some of those fine lines coming out from the DMK?
My take on this is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's request is good, very good. That Kamal Haasan MP is endorsed it. That is it. That is the subject. Everybody, every citizen of India likes that. I just want all the politicians, governors, chief ministers to cut their convoy first. And also government officers across India, ask them to go use the public transport or metro. How many cars, government cars are being used across India? First, they should start giving this feeler to the public. That will be the main thing. And as you were speaking, the 3 amendment bills, all the 3 amendment bills, DMK is against. Okay, they will not support. Actually, after Congress left the DMK alliance, there is a very big question mark whether there is India alliance now, or will Mr. Stalin take forward a third front, having Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal, Akhilesh Yadav, Tejasvi Yadav, Sharad Pawar, Uddhav Thackeray.
You're saying an India alliance without the Congress?
Without the Congress, it might happen. Third front. Might Mamata lead, or Mr. Stalin, MK Stalin might lead. It is all speculation now. Because Kanimali MP, DMK MPs asked for
Separate seating arrangement, yes, agreed. But then
once Congress left the DMK alliance. So this is all speculation.
Well, let us in fact get Satish Kumar also into it. Satish Kumar, you know, Eminem or Kamal Haasan previously had made statements over, or rather he's been anti-centralization. He has spoken about the need for linguistic identities, things like that. And then suddenly you have Kamal Haasan saying that the Prime Minister Modi has made a very important statement. It's not technically an opposition. Is it just a pragmatic viewpoint of what is exactly happening across the world and what the Prime Minister has spoken about it? Or is it a larger question of whether it is softening approach towards the BJP and probably for the DMK trying to become the point of contact for the BJP for the DMK? Are we reading too much into it? Is it just that Kamal Haasan just came and made a pragmatic approach saying that, you know, the Prime Minister has spoken something sensible, it has to be followed because the situation is like that across the world? Should we just leave it at that?
I think, as you rightly said, that we have to leave the matter what Kamal Haasan spoke because we cannot, no need to do any R&D in that Kamal Haasan's decoding the Kamal Haasan statement. He generally, rarely some sort of enlightenment comes to Kamal Haasan. I would, in a lighter move, I say. But in this matter, I think the entire world is suffering, and he travels a lot and he observes. He has got a very good acumen and knowledge about the world politics and geopolitics. So based on that, he has given his statement. But this apart, one thing we should observe from the Tamil Nadu politics. See, all the partners of DMK, so far alliance in Tamil Nadu, have moved totally and left DMK alone right now. They are standing alone in the roads. That's what is happening in Tamil Nadu politics. So Kamal Haasan cannot be an exception. There is no meaning for Kamal Haasan being with DMK, and everyone feels that the DMK, the existing DMK partners, even today, VCK has given a clear statement against A. Raja's political stand and comments about VCK. So in that way, all the political parties are moving away from DMK and leaving DMK alone on the roads. Similarly, Kamal Haasan is taking a different stand. So that way Kamal Haasan is giving a statement. He cannot go to TVK because there is no scope for him, and there is no room also because he is not even having one MLA seat or something like that. So instead of giving support, he has a Rajya Sabha seat, so he can represent only in Parliament. So naturally, his eyes are towards Parliament only, not on the State Assembly. That's what has happened. And to check whether how far he is getting the views or comments or criticism from whether from the DMK parties or the outsiders, that way Kamal Haasan is first giving his opinion about Modi ji's present stand, and which of course the entire world is accepting. Whether Kamal Haasan is accepting or not, that's a different issue.
I think Suresh Kumar wants to give a reply to you that part of which you were saying that I think it's mostly about that the allies have left DMK high and dry. Yes, Suresh Kumar.
How can you say DMK is in the roads? They have DMDK.
I knew exactly that is what you wanted to pick up on.
One second. They have DMDK, they have MDMK, they have KMK, they have Javanullah, they have Tamil Ansari. And how can you say DMK is in the roads?
But all the 20 parties are new.
How can you see that?
Sir, Suresh Kumar, you know very well, all the parties are only, last time at the FAG end, they all joined. And if Premalata also will come out soon, you are going to see that if she supports tomorrow Modi's geopolitics
how can you use the word roads?
No,
It's a
yes,
bad term to
DMK.
use.
I
It's a
stand
bad
by
term
my
you
word.
use.
I stand by my word. As of today, DMK, even Stalin has lost his election. So DMK is I don't want to talk about ADMK. That's a different issue. But the scope or maybe the future of DMK
politics
is in dark now.
No,
Is
okay,
in dark now.
Kalyan Raman, after
So-
that I'll tell you, I have a point to make. Kalyan Raman, yes?
See, whoever has scored more than 2 seats have deserted DMK. Whoever did not win without a DMK symbol, they all have deserted. I mean, whoever won with their own symbol, they all have deserted DMK. This is a matter of fact. So,
Even the
there is
IUML.
no-
Take the case of IUML.
and
How long they
Satish
were
was
partners
very
with the
soft on
DMK?
DMK. They have deserted is what is the right terminology. And there is a huge fight going on today between Congress and DMK, between VCK and DMK. Of course, the only people who are as of now silent are the communists who have not participated in the government. And the IUML is also silent because generally the DMK never takes on a Muslim party.
All right. Now, see,
All the others are waiting for an opportunity to garner
all right. So,
some position from the
so
DMK
now,
government.
since we've known that on the state political front, if that is the case, now the DMK has the strength, that is the parliamentary seats. Or together they have in Rajya Sabha as well as with Lok Sabha, they have around 32 seats. It is an important bargaining chip that we are looking at when it comes to this. They have a bargaining chip. They are still relevant. They have a huge bargaining chip when it comes to national politics. Probably things would change in 2029, when the TVK also gets into the Lok Sabha mode, and things could change. But till then, they have a bargaining chip in their hand, and they have a large representation of MPs in the Lok Sabha and in the Rajya Sabha. So they are a force to reckon with. Let's accept the fact that at that point, they are a force to reckon with. So how do we, in fact, take a look at this aspect of it, that they are using their cards well to stay relevant? Isn't that the case, Mr. Suresh Kumar?
No, I think there will be no alliance with the BJP. DMK will not have alliance with BJP because they are against their
No,
ideology.
we can't say that. Politics, makes strange
See,
bedfellows at times. So let's not
DMK
say
had
that
alliance.
alliances cannot happen. We have seen
DMK
historically,
had alliance.
see, if
No,
you look at it, when
one second,
emergency
one
was there,
second.
no,
DMK
I'll tell you,
had-
when emergency was there, you had all the opposition parties together
One
with the
second.
BJP. When the
One
BJP
second.
is
Why
in power, you had all of them
why the
congregating on the
emergency?
other side. So
Why
politics
the
makes a
emergency?
very different
DMK
bedfellows.
had alliance with BJP when Vajpayee ji was there. It was a common minimum program. At that time, they didn't talk about the Hindutva. They didn't speak about Hindutva. So only the government stood. So only Dr. Kalaignar agreed for that. Now it is not that.
So,
No,
okay,
it is not
that's a
that.
point you have made. Probably there is no CMP as such because the BJP has a very good, during time, it's much higher in terms of Lok Sabha representation than it was at Vajpayee's time. We also have with us Dr. Nisha Najumdeen, public policy analyst, who's also joining us. Nisha, the debate has been is there a realignment happening within Tamil Nadu? Is Kamal Haasan's statement hinting at that realignment? What is the position of the DMK? Will it be able to leverage its parliament strength to stay relevant even in state politics? And also, could there be some kind of tactical understanding with the BJP when it comes to certain issues? And with Kamal Haasan saying this, another far-fetched kind of a throwing of the act that we are looking at is this, that is Kamal Haasan actually going to be the bridge through which BJP can talk to the DMK as well because of his softening approach? Or is it that Kamal Haasan just made an independent analysis of what is happening across the world and agreed with what the Prime Minister is saying, and we have to just leave it at that?
See, India's energy demand is rising rapidly with industrial growth and urbanization. We all know that, right? So, energy conservation is basically to be seen in a different context. It is a cross party governance issue, not a partisan one. This is very, very important for we people to understand. And Tamil Nadu is a power surplus manufacturing hub state, and heavily it has been tied to energy policy stability. So, now the national coalitions will depend on the Lok Sabha arithmetic, which is like 272 majority, and the regional party strength, right? So, energy policy is neither left nor right. It is a plug-in or a blackout, I would say. With regard to Kamal Haasan's point of view, see, he being a person, I mean, as far as Kamal sir is concerned, I would say that he's far beyond all this political stuff when it comes to very important topics of national importance. And Kamal Haasan's support in this particular framing, it represents an issue-based democratic convergence, I would say. And it is not a political realignment. And DMK, NDA speculation, it remains quiet, I would say, it remains low probability structurally, but a high discussion value politically as well, no doubt about it. So energy, this is all about energy policy. In a time of crisis, it is very important that India as a whole need to think about the way in which our country will be able to survive, rather than talking about just because another party, DMK's representative, is talking about supporting the national ruling party's perspective, doesn't mean that they'll have a coalition. Right. It is very important to understand way beyond certain things also. And energy policy is emerging as a rare concern zone in Indian politics. So it's very important that we understand all this. And okay, as some people say, DMK may have a coalition also. See, coalitions are always temporary, but power demand is always permanent. And India does not need one party thinking on energy. It needs one direction action. That is why he made a comment like that. So we need to understand in a very, very positive and kind of fruitful manner, I would say. And we know that in which country, let's say, forget about only Indian context, think globally, or this is a global issue. And how can we say this global issue like energy conservation is based only on party lines? It is more than that. Energy conservation is a non-ideological governance issue.
All right,
India targets,
since we have come to that part of it, okay, a little bit of looking into that energy conservation part of it. We decided that we need to have our strategic oil reserves. We have still not been able to fill the oil that we require in the last 12 years, despite in certain at times when the oil prices were very low, COVID time, where there was a large attempt to actually fill up our oil reserves. We have not reached the levels that we require. We are only 22 million barrels, if my memory is right, and China, meanwhile, has kept at least 1.3 billion barrels ready. Now, that is something that it's a lost opportunity that we had, which we did not pursue. Our oil reserve capacity should have been increased in the last 10 years. Okay, that did not happen for whatever reason, it did not happen. Secondly, playing on with geopolitics, when we in fact look at it, in 2008, when the oil prices were in similar kind of a situation, when it was hovering around $108, $120 a barrel, we were able to cushion it to a certain extent because the flow was there. But again, this time the difference is that we don't have that kind of a flow that's coming in from the Gulf. But we had something coming in from the Russian oil that was actually present. They were giving us in discount. We suddenly decided to lower that, and then we are suddenly trying to buy it out from the sea. And then when we have been reached to a position like this, we are now desperately looking for Russian oil to buy. So why is it? Why is it that we don't have, since you are a public policy analyst, why is it that we don't have a long-term understanding of energy policy? Because energy policy is also now connected with the geopolitical reality of on the ground, and we were not prepared for it. Or are we? What went wrong somewhere? Nisha?
See, with regard to the energy, with regard to the energy policy, energy conservation, as you said before, rightly stated before, when the price was low before, during certain period of time, we never took it to that consideration for the fact that, again, the geopolitics plays a huge role. Here, this is not about one particular country. It is about the power countries as well. US plays a major role in this as well. And now, as far as India is concerned, by the year 2070, India wants to become a net zero carbon emission country. And for that, by 2030, 50% of India's energy should be consumed from renewable energy sources, which is again a big question mark. And now the situation is such that we do not even have the proper fuel or the energy for the day-to-day requirements, and the cost is becoming very high. So this is going to cause a lot of issues. And many a times the lack of proper connection or the engagement with the global partners have led to this issue. Today when Iran is ready, or today let's say another country is ready to supply us the necessary fuel also, a statement was made like that, because of certain fear factor, let's say because of certain undisclosed political connection. I do not want to say it so publicly out here, but still all of us know that, right? Or from the so-called superpower country that we see, that is US, India is a little bit afraid. So that is one thing that has been questioned as well by the other party people as well. So here, as far as energy is concerned, this is not just one particular country's issue. Rather, it has been highly connected to every.
See, because this question I asked is because that's, since you put the elephant in the room, the US is there. The US disrupted Russian oil, and now Trump offers transatlantic shipment of oil towards Europe. And it's, of course, at a premium. Trump is offering oil to be sold to India as well. Now, we are not getting that oil with regard to the prices that we used to get it from Iran or from Russia. It's coming at a premium of cost. And they say that we are ready to, meet all kind of energy supplies. So that also, you becoming a captive market for a certain seller is also a concern that we have to look into, isn't it?
It's true. See, energy policy should flow through systems and it should not flow through slogans, no matter within the country or let's say globally as a whole. So what, as a policy, as a public policy analyst, I would say that institutionalize energy federalism. Create a center state energy coordination council, or let's say create a global level energy coordination council wherein we are able to institutionalize properly. So then all these kind of issues will not come. And again, as you said, the monopoly or the kind of capitalistic attitude where, okay, we will be the controller, so every other country will come and hire us. That is a hidden agenda which should not happen. And again, you have to incentivize every country's participation for this. And there should be a great transparency as well when, such kind of issues go on, because today India is lacking. Once India was a superpower, I would say that India had so much of resources, even the renewable, non-renewable energy also. Because of the excess or the under-exploitation or over-exploitation, today we are dependent. So for the fact that if you're too dependent, automatically we follow, or we'll say we tend to listen to what the other countries tell. That kind of situation will cause a lot of issues for the common people.
We get that. Kalyan Raman has been keeping his hand up to answer. I just want to give him a chance. Yes.
But this is not classroom lecture on which geopolitics is discussed, like what Nisha is saying. It's a huge subject that we are talking about. Some presumptions that India is listening to some country or is forced to listen to some country is an absolute nonsense. Take the case of how we were buying from USSR at a discounted price. The US kept saying that we will not allow you, we will do this, no insurance coverage, etc., etc. We kept buying. The result of which the Indian economy has propped up. The Indian inflation level went down. We managed it so very well, beautifully. This is dynamics. This is geopolitics all about. Not some lecture that this is how it should be based on some classroom factors. It's not classroom. The plot changes.
I see. That's why I gave the figures. Where is it that when we were managing it so well, we always managed this energy shock so well. Where did we lose it out is what I'm asking. Because right now, if somebody is coming out,
Varghese, you should let me speak.
Yeah,
you should let me speak. It's not a classroom. We are in a debate. You allowed her to speak unless giving some lecture. She probably is unaware. Being Engel, I
see, it's not about a lecture. See, I was asking her a question, she was giving me an answer. You wanted to say something, I'm giving you an answer. Now, when you make a statement, I'm telling you there is something to it that I've given the kind of statistics to it. That's why we were trying to say. Yeah, yes, go ahead. I'm not stopping you from going ahead and making your statement. Yes.
I'm aware of what is happening in the energy sector. India has improved upon the Mangalore area. We built huge amount of reserves. Everybody knows about it. Even today, we have 64% reserves with us, which is good enough for 70 days. It is a matter of fact, what was missing some 10, 12 years back, we never had that.
The idea was 10, 12 years ago is when they decided that let's act upon it.
We have been doing it. It is not
But I'm
one-day
saying it's
job.
not enough.
Do you think
See,
billions
when we have a crisis like this, is not enough, is what I'm saying. We could, when you have China, having 1.3 billion barrels and we having 22 million barrels, of course, we need to. How did they manage to do in the last decade? Did we miss out on something? Is what I was asking.
We opened up in 91, whereas China opened up in late 70s.
China didn't start building its oil reserves from 91. They didn't start building from oil reserves from 91.
We are a faster growing economy than China. Varghese, you should let me speak, or I will keep my mouth shut.
I'm seeing, because when you're making statements like this, I was just trying to bring in the fact that when you make the statement, it has to be corrected. That's it.
If I am talking some senseless, if I am making some senseless statement, you are welcome to intervene.
Okay.
I'm making some.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Because I'm aware of.
Yeah, fine. Go ahead.
Things have changed a lot. Today, you talked about China. Today, we are faster growing economy than China. China is growing at something like 4.5% levels. India is growing at 6.5% level, despite the global crisis today. The foreign exchange reserves changing, some countries pulling out the forex reserve from India, whatever they invest in India. These are all global phenomenon because there have been some wars happening across the world. They want to secure their investment, so they try to pull out. Some crisis happening. That is why the current debate is on. That is why Kamal Haasan has come to support the vision of Prime Minister when he makes an appeal for the common man, because it cannot be limited to just policy. It also crept into the practice levels where the common man saves for the country. The Honorable Prime Minister inspires the nation. He inspires even the person from opposition like Kamal Haasan. You are saying that maybe the DMK will fall in line. I mean, you are speculating. I appreciate it. I welcome it on behalf of my party. I welcome DMK to join the bandwagon in saving the economy, in saving the energy, and so on. It is a matter that needs to be micromanaged. That is what the Honorable Prime Minister is doing. This is not a classroom in which somebody lectures about how it can be managed, some geopolitics, some economy, some terminology that is learnt in the Petroleum Ministry. It is not that.
Now you have to listen to me. See, this is not about that. This is a very important factor. We have to look at why we reached this situation and what can be done. So it's not a lecture that's coming. It's to understand the larger problem that is there. Because in the larger problem, how do you need to understand the geopolitics is the core of what is happening now with regard to everything.
Did we have control over it?
So now my question is that when we had control over it, why didn't we exploit it? When we had control, when we were buying from Iran, when we were buying from Russia, before the sanctions had been coming in, when we are actually showing, we should have, in fact, ensured that we have kept our energy security in place compared to the situation that we have right now. So that was the thing that was, in fact. Anyway, Kalyan Raman, your point has been, in fact, noted there.
When compared to other countries, we have to see the geopolitics and the global totally. When compared to all the other countries, India is in a very better situation, and we should feel happy about it. What is happening in China, and we are seeing China only a different part of it. We don't know what is the darker side of China. So comparing China and India, especially in this aspect, and though all the countries are having a different stand with Iran, India is having an excellent and diplomatic stand with Iran, and still we are continuing the relationship, whether even with Russia. So our supply, especially in this regard, and with the petroleum, the energy sector, and definitely we are in a very better position. Even though we are in a better position, still our central government is very clear, anticipating
being in a better position, so still you're being cautious. That is that. That I agree with that being in a better position and being in cautious is the aspect of it, because we have to anticipate. But let's see how this, in fact, moves on further, because the question is how it is also affecting this entire crisis, also how it is realigning a lot of things within politics as well. Well, that's all the time that I have. Yes, Mr. Kalyan, you'll be given 20 seconds because I have to wrap the show as fast as possible. Yeah.
India is the only country in the world which is having a processing ability to process Venezuelan oil in its original form, which is the heaviest oil in the world. The Jamnagar facility today can manage the entire thing required for India. The Venezuelan oil cannot be processed by any other refinery anywhere in the world. We have to thank Honorable Prime Minister for pushing it to happen using the corporate connections. Thank you.
Well, okay.
Varghese?
I don't have time. I'm sorry, I don't have time there, Suresh Kumar. I have to, in fact, wrap it as fast as possible. Our other debate is still waiting to happen.